G'day guys, this is Nick from Stridewise.com, where we look at boots and casual menswear, and they let me interview the richest man in Australia.
I've got more going for me than that. What I've got is these R.M. Williams boots. These boots here, 88 pairs of Australian hands before they get on this good-looking dude's feet.
Dr. Andrew Forrest is the founder of the mining company Fortescue Metals Group, and he's been involved in many other ventures in Australia, including medical equipment, rugby, the cattle industry, shipbuilding. But we're here today to talk about perhaps his most Australian of all those achievements, which is buying and thus returning to Australian ownership R.M. Williams, which is without dispute Australia's boot brand. It's true that R.M. Williams did bring me out here, and I'm very grateful for that, though this is not a sponsored video. R.M. isn't actually paying me any money for this, unless
That's because you're an artisan, mate. This bloke is here to bring you the world's best boots, and that's why he's an R.M. Williams.
It's funny, before I came here, I was saying for years before I was working with R.M. Williams out here, this is Australia's boot. I would not hesitate to say that it is Australia's national boot. It's part of the fabric of the nation is this boot. Like, it is simply the national boot. It can't be disputed.
No, it's the national emblem.
Walk me through your decision to purchase R.M. Williams, the company, because I feel like, you were doing pretty well for yourself before you did that, but I feel like it was when you rescued Australia's boots from the clutches of a foreign multinational conglomerate, cemented your status in the cultural landscape, I think, of Australia.
Yeah, any of these brands which, it's all fine, it's all kind of snob value, but it's not Australian. And that egalitarian fair go about Australia, the joy of being completely free, unlimited landscapes, unlimited horizons, all of that is epitomised in R.M. Williams boots. And the fact it's deeply Australian, those 88 people who turn that bit of leather into a work of art on your feet, which you can take anywhere, boardrooms or the cattle yards. But for 2 decades, I failed at getting R.M. Williams. I tried and lost. And I just wanted to be the custodian and then really grow something which anywhere in the world, everywhere across North America, you slip on a pair of R.M. Williams, you're wearing some of that sunshine, you're wearing some of that freedom, some of that dust. You can hear the cattle, you just put on the boots and you think, yes.
It's been 5 years today, I think, since you brought R.M. Williams back to Australian ownership. And today you announced that you've doubled the size of the facility here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone works here, and as you can tell, there's a few machines to help people, but there's just people everywhere. It's a manual craftsman's paradise. It's twice the size of a super large football field, probably 3 times the size of your American football fields, and everyone loves it here. I mean, no one feels like a number, they feel like a family. And I walk around, you instantly recognize people, come up, have selfies, shake your hand, and they're just so delighted that they're working for Australia. And instead of having a foreign company own Australia, we're exporting Australia all over the world. And that deeply Australian sense of purpose, sense of freedom, that's what we're exporting.
It's been 5 years since you made the purchase. We just doubled the size of the facility here. It's not long until R.M. Williams has its 100th birthday. What are your plans for the future of this company?
Yeah, so it's a great point. Australian manufacturing for 100 years, that's quite rare, right? I mean, Australia's only been around a couple of centuries. So this old fella, R.M. Williams, back in 32, thought, I can't buy a good pair of boots. He started to make his own boot. Come forward till today, couldn't have dreamed of where we are now. I think over the next 7 years, R.M. Williams can really, really expand. The people here, keen as mustard, they want to see it happen. So I'd like to spread R.M. Williams to wherever people want it, particularly North Americans. If North Americans can have a boot, they know it's Australian handmade. 88 pairs of hands, they slip it on, wear them into the boardroom, wear them on a horse, wear them into the cattle yards. Look just as smart. Have to dust them off for the boardroom, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up American boots, actually, because as an Australian-born, an American citizen now, I talk about boots all day. Why do Australians pretty much just wear Chelsea boots?
My American boots obviously come up to my knees, or halfway, and they're works of art, but God, they're clunky, right? And, I like to get off a horse, have a quick shower, go and see the president of some country, not have to change my boots. And with elastic-sided boots, they're fine under a suit, they're fine under a saddle, R.M. Williams says, you can wear them in the city, you can wear them in the country, you can wear them anywhere in the world, and you're wearing Australia.
Yeah, and it speaks to the egalitarianism of Australia, I think. Just
It
like
does.
whether you're the Prime Minister or you're a farmer, like you'll
Or
wear
you're a
these
cowboy
boots.
out the bush,
Yeah.
you've got the same pair of boots on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about your philanthropy work as well.
Andrew Forrest has given away 400 million Australian dollars.
The massive donation brings the Minderoo Foundation's endowment to about $7.6 billion.
Because you were the first Australian, I think, to sign the Giving Pledge to give away the majority of your fortune during your lifetime. And I think just to help some of the people that might be watching this, I think a lot of people and a lot of Australians like the idea of donating more to charity. And yours focuses in particular on it was Indigenous education and ocean ecosystems. How did you decide on what to focus on with your philanthropy, and how could you help someone decide on what they want to give their
That's a
money
very
to?
fair question. Look, I don't care how good you are at business, you've had a lot of luck. I mean, when we bought R.M. Williams, just the fact it came back to Australia, Australian hands, sales kicked 25%. I feel, and you've heard me fail for 20 years to get here, but you have a stroke of luck and then you get through. You keep trying, keep failing, then you succeed. Now, I never forget those lessons that I'm actually lucky.
That's
I
a
don't
very un-American way to talk, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, it's like it was all my old work. It was all my own work.
Yeah, I'm afraid there's a lot of luck there, mate. I don't care
Yeah.
who you are, mate. You had a lot of luck. Lady luck smiled upon you. You were there, you worked hard, you took advantage of it, clap, 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 but you had luck. So, and I know that I'm no better than anyone else, so no better, equally loved in the eyes of God, but no better. In Australia, you get a fair crack, you get a fair go. We can improve a lot about Australia. Indigenous Australians got to be encouraged into the dignity of work a lot more than we've encouraged them so far. We've said, just stay where you are, you'll be fine. No, that's crap. Indigenous Australians are our first Australians. They love the dignity of work as much as any other Australian. And in these big issues like, the people of Gaza or when there's horrible floods or fires, I want to wade in there and help instantly. Trust people to distribute capital where it's needed. I just want to help other people have a fair shot. Sometimes you trust too much, sometimes you get hurt. But trust 20 out of 20 times, you might get let down 1 out of 20. Okay, it's going to hurt, but trust the other 19 and don't change. R.M. Williams, mate. Australian made. Australian hands.
We touched on the difference between Australia and the US. And in the US, I think it's probably fair to say that the entrepreneur is kind of central to society in a way that it isn't quite the same way in Australia, with a bigger emphasis on egalitarianism than individualism and so on. And so I just often hear young Aussie guys say that, I kind of want to go to America. It's just so much easier to start and grow a business there. And I want to know, you, as an insanely successful and ambitious Australian, how did you nurture that ambition in Australia? And what advice would you have to young Australian entrepreneurs who are trying to get that level of success here?
Okay, look, my advice to young Australian or American entrepreneurs is put up with criticism. Cop the kicks in the teeth, mate. At the end of the day, it's just criticism. If you know your cause is straight and true, just apply that ingredient which leads to the difference between success and failure. It's not brilliance, it's not this, it's determination. Never, ever give up. And look, as you've seen with me, we failed for 20 years. Failed for 20 years before we finally became custodians of R.M. Williams. Now it's off and racing. Determination, little entrepreneur. If you're starting out, just be determined, don't give up. The kicks in the teeth are normal. And you get a lot in Australia. In the United States, you see someone fail and you check out why they failed. And if they weren't dishonest, if they're straight as a die, America's going to back them again. That's the American spirit. Now, Australia is kind of really lackadaisical, where
We're very relaxed.
Everyone's equal. We don't care if you're prime minister or pauper, we're going to treat you exactly the same. The rub of that is that Australians can kind of get niggly with tall poppies and want to cut them off. And you just cop that. That's part of the culture, which has really good and bad downsides, but it's who we are.
Yeah. No,
And it keeps everyone on the level, mate.
I completely agree. Nowhere's perfect, but I think the way Australia does it is the
And
best.
it kind of stops people thinking, hey, look, I've made a buck there, for I'm good. No, you're not. You just made a buck. You're no better than anyone else.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like, you are very wealthy, but Australians are generally like all right, you got money, but like, what have you done? You
Yeah,
know, like,
yeah, what have you
what's,
done?
What's special about you?
Yeah,
And then
and
you brought
so-
our millions back to Australian shores, and it was
Yeah,
a great
that
achievement.
works, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So congrats on the achievement.
Thank you. And
That's the
thanks
5
for your
years.
interest, and to all your American listeners, watchers, I mean, give R.M. Williams a try, mate. Feel the freedom of Australia.
Link in description. God, it's a trashy way to end a video, isn't it? Thank you for your time,
Cheers,
Andrew.
mate. Ciao, buddy. All right, take it easy.